Hey guys, Dead Ant here. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different to my normal content. Hopefully this is something that you guys enjoy and I'll do more of them in the future. But basically, I like guns. And I like guns in video games. So what this series is going to be about is me looking at the guns in video games and taking them apart and seeing what's good, what's bad, what did they fuck up. And first on the chopping block, we are looking at Call of Duty Cold War, in particular the Zombies mode, because it is currently free and I don't have the full game. And there's a few things that are pretty bad that is still going on in Call of Duty. So let's check them out. Okay, so let's start off with the classic 12 gauge pump action shotgun. They call it the HOYA 77 in this. I do not know why. It's based off an Ikitha 37 or M37. Don't know why they changed names, but they do. So what can go wrong with the shotgun? Packs a punch. Pretty simple. And there's a big fuck up. They don't know how to count, they don't know how shotguns work, because that just doesn't make sense. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the pump after loading it, that just made the reload absolutely useless. You've got no more ammo than you did before you put the shell in. So let's do some basic counting. One, two, 3, 4, 5, pump. So you got 4 in the tube, 1 in the chamber. We've now got 3 in the tube and 1 in the chamber. You put an SRL1 in, pumped it, ejected the one in the chamber. Now you've got exactly the same as before. So you've actually got 4 shells in there now, not 5. That is really basic stuff, like screwing that up in 2020 when you've been making shooting games for the last decade. That's just pathetic. Like, what the actual fuck? Makes no sense. Alright, so let's check out what some of the accessories for the HOYA are. Okay, optics, yeah, muzzle, barrel lengths. Calling these body accessories is a bit weird. They're attachments, like flashlights, lasers, all that sort of thing. So I wouldn't really be calling them body. Magazine. Stanag 8-round tube. I do not think that is Stanag. Stanag is standardization agreement for NATO countries. I do not think that NATO has a standardized agreement on what extended tubes you should be putting in your Ithaca 37 shotguns. So they just found that name and thought, oh, that's a cool name, let's add that to it. That's just dumb. Oh god, handle. That is not a handle, that is a grip. And tape. So all the handle mods, or the grip mods, it is a grip. They call, it's just tape. Adding tape to your grip, like, what is this? How to be an Australian criminal 101? Adding tape to everything. And then the stocks. They're all normal. That's dumb, but it's realistic. Like, people do stupid shit like this in real life, so of course they're going to put it in a video game. Alright, let's take a look at the AK-74U. It should be AKS-74U, because it is short and it has the side folding stock. So, minor thing, not that big of a deal. Shoots good, sounds good, looks good. That reload is good, except I should have 31 rounds now, not 30. That's a minor detail. It's it definitely separates the amazing games from the standard games though. That's just a lack of effort. Alright, let's see what the empty reload is. I mean, it works, you can do that, but using your right hand is not what a professional would be doing, and the way you hold the magazine when you do that is just weird. It's strange. And the way he's flicking out the old mag, I wouldn't be doing it like that because he looks like he's using the feed lips or the new magazine to do that. You run the risk of causing a jam or damaging your feed lips by reloading and ejecting the previous magazine like that. Yeah, that's just not quite right. Now let's take a look at the accessories. Optics, no point going through optics, they're all just made up. You know, not quite right for the time optics, so we'll skip that. The muzzle on the AKS-74U, you don't really want to be changing. The muzzle that's already on it is there for a reason. Basically, it hides a lot of the big flash, because it is a very short barrel, and it also helps cycle the action. So changing the muzzle on that, it's not impossible. Like you can do it, and you could get the gun running well with it, but you wouldn't be switching it willy-nilly. Different barrel lengths, and why is it changing the mag well and the grip, front grip, for the different barrel lengths? That is strange. Like, that's typically you'd see that sort of mag well when you're running a 5.56 magazine in it. So that's an odd decision to make. Okay, magazines. 40 round drum. Standard magazine is 30 rounds. Having a 40 round drum would be like the dumbest thing you would ever do. Drums are big, bulky, hard to carry more of, and often have reliability issues. You would not be using a drum for an extra 10 rounds. Oh look, a handle. And you can put tape on it. That one's got rubber bands. Wow. And now it's Spaz 12 time. They call it the Gallo SA12. Again, don't know why they changed the name. So Frankie Spaz 12. Maybe it's a licensing thing. I don't know. But it is a pump action and semi-auto shotgun. In this game, it is in the semi-automatic mode. Packs a punch, and we have our problem. So that is not actually possible with the Spaz 12. When you go to load a Spaz 12, there's a button you need to push to load the rounds in. That button is not at the top of the handguard where they load it. Flipping the gun upside down is a bit weird, but typically to reload the actual correct way, it is easier to have it upside down so you can hold on to the button that opens the loading gate. And there's our other problem. When you run out of ammunition in the Spaz 12, the bolt locks to the rear. In this, it does not. It is still closed, and when you go to fire again, you haven't even cycled the action. So there is actually no ammunition in the chamber. There's no shotgun shell in the chamber, and it should go click because you haven't actually loaded the gun. There's one round in the tube. There is no round in the chamber. Yep, again, this is like really basic thing, and Call of Duty has been doing this for a long time. They still can't get this shit right. So are there any crazy stupid things with the Spaz 12 in the gunsmith? Well, it won't load for starters, so that's always useful. You know, I can't actually be that critical of them. I mean, they're not gun designers, they're not soldiers, they're not firearms enthusiasts, because what they are is game developers, and they still can't even get that fucking right. Oh look, another Stanag magazine. More tape, different stocks. No, just no. And this is bad. So, your shooter is right-handed. If you have shotgun shells where they have them on this stock, you're going to be getting punched in the face by those shotgun shells every time you pull the trigger. They should be going on the other side unless you're left-handed, which the character you control is not left-handed, so that's just a bad attention to detail. And now we're looking at something called the Bullfrog. What the fuck even is this? I mean, I know what they base it on, but what the fuck did they do to it? I mean, the reload's good. Absolutely nothing wrong with the reload. It handles pretty nicely. It looks good. Well, it doesn't look good, actually. So, it's clearly based on the PP19, sometimes called the Bison, or the Vityaz. Well, the Vityaz technically came after the Bison. Basically, a 9x18 Makarov submachine gun with a helical magazine. It is basically an AK in 9x18 with this strange magazine. This is not. I don't know what they were thinking when they made this. It's so narrow at the top. Like the bolt carrier would have to be pretty small in that. This rear sight is really bad. Like, so an open notch sight like this, you would not have this far back on a gun. If you're going to have a sight that far back, you're going to have a peep sight. Yes, there were some guns that were made with an open U-notch this far back, but it is not a good thing, and they are not good designs. This is just strange. It looks weird. But it handles well. Alright guys, I just want you to know that this is just a bit of fun, this video. If I offended you over insulting your favorite gun, who cares? It's just a video game. Even if a gun doesn't work properly and I don't like it, doesn't mean it's not fun to use in a game. Yes, I would like the developers to be a bit more accurate with certain things, but in the end, the gameplay is what matters the most. If you like this sort of content, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment as to what other video games you want me to look at their guns and see which ones are good and which ones are bad. Have a good one guys, I'll see you in the next video. And that's how the AKS-74U should be reloaded.